Hi, this is Bill Bird, Chief Medical Officer at CGH Medical Center in Sterling, Illinois. We are on a field trip today, taking a look at our new entrance here at the hospital. And I'm excited to be doing that. And I have here with me some key people in terms of making that happen. So the first person next to me is Bob Lehman. Hi, Bob.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing well. Bob is our facilities manager, and the other person next to me is Cindy Zander. Hi, Cindy.
Hi.
Cindy's our vice president who oversees the facilities. So I think we have two pretty good people in terms of asking a few questions about this project. And they're nodding their heads that they agree, so I'm glad to hear that. All right. So I thought what I'd do first is just maybe ask a little bit about the beginnings of this project and the scoping of it and how it all came together. So, Cindy, between you and Bob, can kind of tell the folks who are watching us a little bit about this project and what you envisioned and how that has come along, and maybe even some time frames of all that.
So the process started years ago. We actually started 5 years or more talking about what we could do to upgrade our lobby, make it more patient-friendly, open it up. The way it was built, it was aged, and a lot of the systems were having issues, so it was a good opportunity for us to address all of those things along with making it a more welcoming environment. So we went through a lot of different design options and came up with the one that you see today. We looked at methodology to do that and came up with what turned out to be a really great system, which was our internal construction team working on this build. So this is a challenging, large project for us, and it's worked out really well. And so you're kind of seeing the end of the first phases, and then we'll talk more about the final phases that will be coming up.
I'll let Bob answer a question for me. Bob, can you kind of talk a little bit about, in this first phase, what the build has been so far?
In the first phase, we started in the Ryberg area and did the south wing. Then we went from the south wing. We had to build and move the gift shop to its location. So that was kind of phase 1A. And then we did the build out of the infrastructure for the addition here, working with Winter Construction to do that work with us. So we co-partnered with them to do they did the actual build of the construction on the exterior. We did all the internal. As part of this internal build, as this phase was the auxiliary move. So they moved in around first of the year, and then we started building out on the meeting areas, which is where we just finished.
Okay. So we've done, just so folks who are watching, Ryberg is kind of our main meeting area for a lot of our staff that takes place here in our classrooms that Bob was talking about is also our meeting areas. So we've done that, and you can probably see behind us out through the windows there. What is that? What do you call that? What are you calling that area?
It's actually the healing garden.
Okay.
So it's got some outdoor space where you can either sit, reflect, just kind of get away from things. We're looking forward to it booming out in the spring. Just a nice environment to kind of step out of the building. Staff can enjoy it, visitors, patients, whoever's interested in that.
Yeah. Yeah, so we have a healing garden, and I know that our marketing team, maybe even as we're talking here, but for sure, either before or after we're talking, we'll show you also some pictures of the outside that has been completely redone, which is really cool. I'm looking at it right now, and it is really nice. And I like how it's all the rock and everything is all kind of flows together very nicely. So hats off to you all in terms of that, because that looks really nice.
Yeah, we want a natural environment, natural feel, just is more of a healing environment as well. So that was our focus as we work with the design team on this.
So what I wanted to maybe do first is, since we're standing in one of the new areas, let's talk about it. Bob, Cindy, can you kind of talk about what this area was envisioned to be used for? And maybe, is it being used for that, or are you finding there are other purposes that it's being used for too?
This is actually the waiting area in the lobby. The intent was to also give a space where people could step away from nursing departments while their family member is in surgery or just needing a break. A nice area to come and sit. And also, it's another area where you can wait for appointments, wait for rides, that kind of thing. So right now, this is the area we use for both admitting patients and discharging, but in the future, we'll have another adaptation to that we'll talk about.
So what I think we're going to do next is we're actually going to go and walk around to some of the other areas that have been built out, so all of you can get a sense of what we're talking about in terms of what you're going to see when you come into the hospital. Welcome to the Ryberg Auditorium. So this is the area that we talked about previously in our conversation. The Ryberg is where a lot of meetings for our staff happens, whether that be educational or those type of things. And we also, once things are up and running again, we've had some service organizations that meet here as well. What year was this originally put together, Cindy?
This wing was built in 1988.
Okay, so it's been a while since we've had a refresh.
Yeah, that
Okay.
was really driving a lot of why we wanted to do the project, because this entire area was very dated.
Okay, so Bob, what kind of refreshing has been done?
Well, we've had all new carpeting, new painting, new doors, new audio-visual systems put in. To again, try to help with the programming that goes on here, with the different speakers that come in and out of here.
Yeah,
So
good.
basically, new bathrooms, updated bathrooms.
Yeah, I like these chairs. For those of you, I'm not going to sit in one, but I'm just going to tell you they're really nice. So
They're comfortable.
yeah, I like them. I like them. So okay, so it may not sound like a lot to you all, but I can tell you that this room looks way better than it did before this process started, and it's much more usable in terms of the audio, visual, and those type of things for when we have meetings here. So this is the Ryberg. Let's go to our next room. All right, we've moved again. And now where are we, Cindy and Bob?
We're in the admitting office area, again, more patient-focused. So when you come in, everything's from a patient care area is right here. You have a meeting, you have central scheduling, you have financial counselor, you have a patient advocate. So those offices are now currently scattered throughout the organization, so having everything brought to the front. So when you come in as a patient, everything's right here for you to have one point of touch to get to.
And I know you can't see that as you're watching us, but trust me, you're probably about 10 paces from the front door where we're standing right here. So that's really nice how it's set up, where you come in the front door, you see one of our volunteers, and they just say, hey, come over here, which is 10 steps from where you're going to be. So very nice how this is set up for folks who need to check into the hospital. So I thought what we would do, before we start walking around, anything that was done unique in terms of trying to make this a quiet place, or anything from a privacy standpoint in terms of admitting here at the hospital?
The offices themselves are private, and you can kind of see that with the design. We also added we have a kind of a call center, and we've added some privacy sound absorbing panels there as well to help with that. So I think we've done what we can to enhance it. The previous space was small and cramped. We didn't have the ability to get wheelchairs in as nicely as we'd like to, so this is a more open environment for that.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to mention is we have added, security is a concern everywhere, so we have enhanced our security here with additional cameras. Our security staff actually has an office up here. They won't be housed in it all the time, but it will give them a presence so that they can be up here when needed. Also can help support the volunteers as needed with any kind of issues.
Yeah, and once again, for folks, you're watching us, you don't know this, but trust me on this too. There's a sliding door as you walk into this area, and the noise level here compared to what it is out in the main lobby, like Cindy was doing some karaoke stuff out there in the main lobby, because it's pretty, it's not good music, right? What was playing, by the way, Cindy?
I'm not going to say it.
Okay.
I did sing a little though. Cool Life or Cool.
Yeah, I can't remember the song.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so we digress, don't we? Anyhow, we're going to walk you around here and show you a little bit about this registration area. So Cindy and Bob, I'll let you kind of point and everything that we're supposed to be seeing as we're walking.
First two offices are for patients, for registration. There again, you come in right away. Staff can see you, you get registered. As we head down the road here, we have the third office is the supervisor's office for registration, which will also then back up for help when they need help to getting patients to be registered. So there again, direct access to the visitors waiting area. We head down the area here. We go to a work center for this area where all the printers and things will be. The other thing that they've done too is they provided a space for scheduling to sit back here, and part of the scheduling, they're again looking to try to deaden the sound. We provided some added features back in this room, panels that separate staff, as well with acoustical panel systems on there to try to deaden the noise as they're talking on the phone. Continuing down here, we have the manager's office for the registration people. There again, I think as we look to try to center things together from a patient's perspective, we've also brought the financial counselor's office, which is currently at the far east end of the building now. We brought it to the front of the building. So there again, if you're coming in looking for financial assistance, that person is right here, easy access off the main lobby coming in. As well as next to that office is the patient advocate office. So if you're having any concerns and you need help trying to manage things through the organization, the patient advocate is a good place to start with. And they're again coming in, direct access to get into the patient advocate. And that office is currently also at the far east end of the building. So we have so many functions that are scattered all over, and trying to bring everything to the forefront makes it one-stop shop for all these patient functions.
Nice job, Bob.
Thank you.
I think it's pretty nice in that, like, you have a lot of the patient service areas that were separated are now all in one umbrella here. So it's really nice for the folks and for patients as they come in here to see GH. So good work.
Thank you.
All right, let's go somewhere else. So we're at our new help desk, and Gail, how has the help desk been going with this new setup?
It's been going really good.
Yeah?
Yeah, people are liking it a lot.
What do you like about it?
I like it because I can see outside. When they had us in the corner, we couldn't see.
This is true. This is true. How about for you, Pat?
Yes, and we like to be able to see outside, and we can watch for people coming in, and so it's a good thing.
Yeah, it's a nice space, that's for sure.
Hi, I'm Stacy Schaefer, the Manager of Volunteer Services. As Dr. Bird just showed you in the front lobby area of the hospital, we also have the auxiliary space that is available for our volunteers. This space allows them to have their own space, a home to come to, a place to put their coats, a place to eat, a place to store things. I wasn't here for the old space, so I am going to let these two volunteers kind of speak to that. But this space is beautiful and really has been a great addition to us providing volunteer services.
This space is we get more accessibility to get to Stacy if we need to ask for any questions. The other one, Deb was too far away.
And we enjoy this new space because before we were very limited in our area that we had to put our coats and put our things that we bring with us.
And so speaking of volunteers, one of the things we do want to talk about is the fact that we do have a lot of volunteer opportunities here. There are a lot of different areas where people can volunteer their time. And at this moment, we do have quite a few openings. So we are looking for volunteers. So if you're interested in it, please reach out and contact us by calling me, or you can go to the website. The application is on the website. But we would love to have anyone that is interested join our team and help us out.
And it's very rewarding and fun.
All right, we've made it to, I believe, our last stop on this journey, and we're here in the gifts shop. Talk about the space that was been put together here, Cindy and Bob, and how that all came together.
So we worked with Kim. She's a manager in the gift shop and did the design. She does a wonderful job buying and displaying things. So we gave her some flexible space to kind of change things in and out as she sees fit. And she's done a really nice job. The location is good. It's right in the main kind of thoroughfare. So there's a lot of traffic. They get a lot of people stopping in to do some shopping.
Bob too, probably, right, Bob?
Yeah, I'm not a big shopper.
He's a secret shopper, if you will. Yeah. But anyhow, we're right across from the cafeteria. And speaking of which, I know that our marketing staff is going to show some pictures, more pictures of the gift shop that I think you'll be interested in. But after that, I thought maybe Cindy, you and Bob can speak to what's happening next with this project. And speaking of the cafeteria, I think that's part of the project, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, that's our most intense phase in terms of the span of work that's going to be performed in here. We are going to be required to shut the cafeteria down. So we'll be closing in April and probably close through the end of the year to do this remodel. It's a complete refurbish of all the piping, all the mechanical, electrical, all the equipment, seating, everything will be new. So it's well overdue. We have a lot of issues in there with just trying to maintain aged equipment and that kind of thing. We'll have more space for seating. It'll be an open floor plan, so we won't have as much congestion like we do. If any of you have been here during the day when we're busy and staff comes over, there's large lines and it takes a long time to get through. So it should help us with that as well.
Bob, I'm curious, what's the time frame from when you begin the process of redoing our current cafeteria and then this new refurbished cafeteria space opens up? I know we're not going to hold you to it, but ballpark, what are you thinking here?
We're looking at about approximately 7 months
Okay.
of construction from the time we start to the time we finish. Then when we get finished, we'll have to have IDPH approval, so there'll be a little bit of a lag from the time we can actually open it. But that's a timeline for construction. We pre-purchased most of the equipment already. This project has been going on now for quite a while. It started back in 23. So everything is a domino with the cafeteria being the last phase.
Yeah.
So everything will be done as quickly as we can, knowing that the cafeteria being down is a major disappointment and discomfort for people looking for food.
Speaking of which, it has come up, and the question has been, for our patients here in the hospital, are they going to have food?
Yeah, the kitchen's intact, so there'll be no change on patient care. All the food will be just as it is today. One thing we are doing is we're opening kind of a satellite serving area over in the main clinic in the lobby, just a scaled down version where we'll have specials each day, some different menu items. Krenza's working with her team on that. And we're also going to have some online ordering for pickups, so that'll give people some flexibility to have choices while we're closed.
And for guests of patients, that would be kind of their option, would be in the main clinic. And I know you're thinking about maybe some food trucks or something like that too.
Yeah, we'll have some food trucks here during the day, during the nice months. So yeah, to supplement.
Okay. And beyond the cafeteria, are we done at that point in time in terms of this whole project, or is there more to come after that?
For the scope of this project, that will be the last.
Okay.
From a POM perspective, we're never done.
You're right. I know. That's the thing about hospital folks don't realize is how much just ongoing work that it takes just to kind of keep things looking fresh and new. And if you walk through our hospital, that's one of the things that folks will say is that, wow, it looks really nice in here. So thank you to Cindy and thank you to Bob for that, because that's folks like Cindy and Bob that make that happen. So
I would want to say just to thank everyone for putting up with our disruption. There's been a lot of it, a lot of different changes and phases. This isn't going to be the easiest phase either. We're going to need to close some corridor space, some other spaces. So you'll see rerouting again, but we really want to thank everyone for your patience with us in getting this accomplished. So.
Yeah. All right, so I think that concludes our tour, and I know that we're going to have some more other pictures outside of our conversations that our marketing team will show you, but I hope it gives you at least some sense of the direction we've come from and where we're headed as we move forward with this construction project. So thanks, Cindy. Thanks, Bob, for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, and thank you for taking the time to watch this episode. Typically what I do at the end of these episodes is show slides of like our employee of the month and those type of things, but actually the person filming this episode is actually employee of the month this month. So I'm going to have her come from behind the camera to in front of it. So Brianne, there she is. Brianne is like, oh, I can't believe we just did this, but
Brianne is our Employee of the Month. Congratulations, Brianne.
Thank you very much.
What's been your favorite part about being Employee of the Month?
Oh, just things like this.
I'm sure.
My face turning red.
Yes, pretty much. Mine was a little bit too because I embarrassed you. Now I'm embarrassed. But nonetheless, congratulations to Brianne. Brianne does a marvelous job. And I think as you see the editing that happens here to make this video come alive, you're going to appreciate what Brianne does. So Brianne, congratulations.
Thank you very much.